Hello, welcome to the top of the world. 7 early o'clock this morning it is. We're looking at the back of the van. It's a grey, overcast day, but it's not raining. Have I got something to show you? Oh, a door. Just before we drop into this video, I had some footage from 2 weeks ago from a very unusual set of events. We had 4 or 5 days of continuous and heavy rain, followed by an unusual storm front from the south. This actually led to a really bad situation down on the river where both boats, or all the boats, are kept, and a very unfortunate set of circumstances to 2 of them. What I've done is I have just bolted this footage on at the very end. So after my fishing video, and when I say goodbye, there's an additional 11 minutes of this footage. What I do want to add into that is both boats have been recovered. The large blue one did indeed have its engine on the back and has been pulled to dry land. The small one has since been repaired and is back on the pontoon with another engine, which we'll see just in a minute, more to my pontoon. Its original outboard has not been recovered despite 2 days of snorkeling and attempts to find it. And I've just added that on at the end. So if you want to skip the boring fishing video, go straight to 20 minutes, I think, and there's 11 minutes bolted on the end. Anyway, off to the video. Now, get in the boat. You don't want to go this morning. Up. Come on, up. Up. Good boy. He's a bit reluctant to get on the boat this morning, because I've got to confess, the last 19.6 times we've been on the boat, we've been wet. Anyway, I'm quite hopeful, very hopeful in fact. Look at that. Well, the old man's boat's already been on the bottom of the river once, and if you don't get yourself down there and bail that out, that's going to be on the bottom of the river again. Perhaps I should do it for him. Anyway, here we go. Every time you get on the boat, you have to bail it out. If ever there was a summer full of rain, this was it. And you're probably saying, well, we haven't seen you out fishing much, Simon. Well, there's not been anything to show. I put the camera on the boat, or bail out the boat, I start the engine, and I come back and my bucket's either got a few in or none. I set the cages 3 weeks ago. We've had a couple of successes. Nothing. I haven't changed anything. There is a man that lives down the road. He's lived on the river his whole life. I don't know what he is. Late 70s, early 80s. He said it's the worst year he's ever known. But this morning, it's dry and it's still, and we got to plug away at it. We cut round the boy's eyes last night because he couldn't see a thing, could you? Yeah. Anyway, I could go and empty the cages first, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go and do some pole fishing and see how we go from there. bet you thought you was going in the river then. So did I. Again. Empty. That's been there for a few days now. We're going to move that yoke. Nothing in it. Let's move it. Once again, looks like my cages are just not working. Last one. It's not good. I probably need to pick them all up and move them now. Not today though. You can't do it with Casper on the boat and you can't do it in the wind. Nothing. Strike out. Oh well. Well, the sun did come out for the last, I don't know, half hour or so of the trip. Made it a bit more pleasant. How did I do? 12. Not good. Yeah, hard work. Anyway, it's better than none at all. Another little trip done. Thank you all for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to the top of the world. I've got to do some emergency repairs here. I've just come in from emptying my fishing cages. I couldn't film it because, well, the camera would have gone overboard again. Anyhow, so what's different about yesterday was it was really humid and really hot and really horrible, and we had these strong winds coming from the south. We hardly ever get strong winds coming from the south. Winds from the north, obviously, and they're cold. No, these were warm winds from the south. Yesterday evening, it blew up to the extent I've never seen winds that powerful coming from the south before. Didn't think too much about it until this morning I arrived, and the pontoon, the old man, he laughed at me, belt and braces, because I welded up these huge, great, heavy-duty hinges, and I put canvas straps on all the pontoon pieces. Right, thought that was funny. Belt and braces. Good job I did, because the storm last night rattled my locked together nuts off the bolts, and I've got to do some emergency repairs. So in my pocket I've got 2 spanners and a pocket full of bolts. I've got to do that. But that's not the main thing that was really interesting. What was really interesting was not only is it the roughest I've ever been out in a small boat, when I was plucking the cages, I've got them in line with a small island, that island there, and the old man's boats. When I was downriver, I turned around to come upriver, and I couldn't see his boats. Well, there's a reason for that. They're on the bottom of the river, and probably badly smashed on the rocks. Anyway, we're going to do this emergency repair first, and then we'll get on with what's going on with them boats. So these bolts have rattled loose before. On that hinge there, and on that hinge there, that one's alright. The nuts have gone completely off of there. And it looks like they're almost off on some of these others. Now, I don't know if I even want to let go of this because it's going to go in the water. I'll try and... Anyway, I've got to fix this first. It's really not that rough now. It's quite rough for a river, but it's not as rough as it was. I'll risk putting you there for a minute. Bad. Right, we were about to go and have a look over there. See, the wind's coming from the north, the boats are protected. And it would be quite normal from the wind to be coming from the north. Because it's coming from the south, it's now exposed this bay, which is normally really protected. And although we get winds from the south, not strong winds like this, and it's obviously caused a problem, so we better go and have a look to see what we've got going on down there. Oh, it looks nice, but I can assure you it ain't. Right. I would say that's got a big hole in the bottom. That's what I'd say. They look good, maybe not. Anyway, And I don't know where the outboard for that is, but that's always got a motor on it and it ain't. So I don't know where that is. And the engine on this one's so big you can't take it off, so it must still be on there. This is bloody stupid. Gosh. I don't know if you can see it, but the engine's definitely on there. Yeah, I would guess that's the result of a lack of checking. We've had a lot of rainstorms lately. If he ain't been bailing these boats out, well, they've gone to the bottom and they're just smashing on the rocks. I repaired this one a couple of years ago where it was so badly damaged underneath. It is actually, normally, this is the best spot for a pontoon, much better than where mine is, but the water level's really low and it's led to these rocks being exposed, which wouldn't normally be, but when the water level's not low, it's a flat walk, which for the old man's much better. But you can see there's quite a drop down now. Normally we're almost level with this. You wouldn't normally have all these rocks. This is really bad. I can't imagine that rainwater alone has filled this boat enough to sink it. I can't. There must be an additional problem. And that's got a big motor on the back of that. That'll be heavy. And I don't know where the outboard for that's gone. I don't know if it's fallen off and it's in the water or what's happened. If we can see where the outboard for this is. I don't know if it's dropped in the river or I can't see it. Maybe he took it off. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so. He always keeps an engine on that. But it's more likely to be out here if it's anywhere. Does look like it's taken some quite heavy damage underneath there. Well, that's just sad and a bad day, that is. So sad. The storm's so bad and it's going to get worse. I don't know if now's the right time to do it or whether now it's got to save more damage on the rocks, hasn't it? I don't know what's happened here. See, These big metal stakes here, they got a screw on the end. And Jon, who sadly passed away a few months ago, made up a load of them. There they are, laid down there. They should be screwed into the riverbed and this pontoon should be attached to it. And they ain't. And that would stop this. You know, the pontoons have got to be out, not smashing against the rocks like this. I think what's happened is because it's tied off so tightly on the rope, it hasn't allowed it to float out and the boat to stay upright. So the rainwater's taken down that corner, and with the storm, well, that just filled it out with water. It's tied off too tight. It's allowed them to sink. I mean, I don't know why it's not tied to the pontoon. Anyway, it's a bad day. If buts and whens and maybes ain't going to get this back floating again,